Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Ohio Small Business Spotlight. I'm your co host, Tony Miltenberger, along with my other co host.
Greg Fay.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here today. Greg, it's just you and I today.
Well, for good reason. We got a chance to look back a little bit. We've done our first 10 and it's been a ball. So it's all good. I like it.
Yeah, the other thing that's super interesting that we're learning as we kind of continue to flex these joint co hosting podcasting muscles is that it's hard to line up guests to keep everybody's schedule straight, and then life happens, and guests we had planned then are unavailable for a myriad of reasons.
Hmm.
But 10 episodes in, Greg Fay, what have you learned about business, or maybe relearned or been reminded of about business?
Reminded of certainly the one thread, and I think we've acknowledged it two or three times, is the business owners that we talk to when we ask them to. I think they enjoy the opportunity to talk about their business and their story and what brought them to where they're at. But it's so funny that they speak in one common thread. I think at least pretty close to half have said this right here, that you or I posed the question, what was the real magic when you decided to flip it from a side hustle to a full-time gig? And all of them have said, you have to absolutely love what you're doing,
Mm.
because if you love what you're doing, it's not going to feel like work in any way, shape, or form. And it's something you and I both knew, but I like how you asked me the question, what have we been reminded of? It's really refreshing to get reminded of some of that business 101 stuff.
Yeah, I think for me, I think one of the things that's really interesting is that um, the heart of the business owner and entrepreneur, it beats for the community. So all of the people that we've talked to have this common theme of like, man, I'm for Centerville. I'm for what God is doing in the, south part of the Miami Valley. Like, I'm for these things, like the people that I work for. I know that there's of course there's business owners who aren't like that. We just haven't had them on. So
Uh-huh.
so I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for the people that we've gotten to meet. Um you and I are both business owners, and I wanted to ask you some questions about the way that you run your business, because one of the things that I admire about you is that you have a large business footprint, but it's also a lifestyle business. And so the lifestyle part of the business is that you manage to make it work wherever you are. And so you spent 2 weeks recently with your family away from your home office, and you guys were able to go virtual. When did you decide that you wanted your business to work for you instead of you being a slave to your business?
Oh boy, right from the beginning, because you know something that is so something we're so freakishly aware of is response time. And even though we're in Florida for the month of March or in North Lake for the last 2 weeks of June, the one thing that we know is that our clients' lives don't stop. They're not on vacation, and we've set an expectation that we are not going to back down from. We're never going to tell somebody, I can't do something right here, right now that I normally could do because I'm not in my office.
Mm.
So we've the response that we get in either Google reviews or just text messages, or we've even had customers give us gift cards and send us thank you cards. Customers sending us, the most humbling thing in the entire world when that takes place right there. And but it's become, I've never thought of it this way, Tony, but you described it perfectly. It's become a lifestyle, how we operate our business. It really has become a lifestyle. So I appreciate that you tag that to what we do because I feel like that's what it is.
What does it take, from your opinion, to do remote business work well? Because there's a picture that you posted on your Facebook page of Stacy working in one office. And then one of your other dear friends and other business owners working on the back patio. How does all that come to fruition in your head? How do you guys get from a place of like, we can actually do this remotely?
Well, when we our agents are all either family or very close friends. I mean, my best friend of 40 years has an office in Toledo. My stepson Josh, my son Zach, my son-in-law Michael, Stacy holds it all together, and then we've adopted into our family John and Emily. We've never ever said that this is the requirement. It was just part of the DNA. Ryan Hawk just had, oh boy, Connor Group, Larry Connor
Yeah,
on
Larry
his
Connor. Yep.
podcast, and Larry Connor said that you'll see cars in the parking lot at 7 a.m. in the morning at Connor Group, and you'll also see cars in the parking lot on Saturday or Friday night at 7 p.m. And he said, never once in anything that we've ever published have we said that that's an expectation. It's just we've hired people that kind of have that DNA that, kind of say, listen, I'm off right now. I'm really thankful that I've got a flexible schedule, but I know my first 4 hours waking up before I go out on Norris Lake, I know my first 4 hours are going to be tended to. And if I could have got the whole picture, I would have. That picture, that was John, or I'm sorry, Josh's wife Angie out on the deck, and if I would have just panned over to the left a little bit, you would have seen John and Emily with their laptop set up over there. And if you would have went downstairs, you would have saw Josh doing the exact same thing. Never once did Stacy and I say, "Hey, listen, we expect you guys to bring a laptop and get work done." It was uh, they would have they would have been disappointed and surprised if they didn't see us doing it. So I can't think of any better way to explain it, and I'm going to steal it and use it going forward. It's really a lifestyle the way we run our business, and our agents they're partners. They're not agents really. They're partners in our business. They're partners that happen to be agents.
Yeah, it's so good. And being a client, I can tell you that I see the way you treat all of your clients. You treat them like family, and that's just kind of it just fits well together. And that family, that gift of hospitality, I would say, is a God-given gift. And you have a unique ability and a way to connect with people. You created a Facebook page many years ago. Facebook then, unbeknownst to you, took it down because these things happen, right? This is one of the things that I tell business owners all the time. This is why email lists are so important, because if you build your business on rented property, the landlord reserves the right to take the property away, which is, it's a part of the world that we live in now. What have you learned rebuilding the Facebook group, the community group that you started for Centerville and surrounding areas? For the longest time, it was the Greg Fay Community Insurance Group page. Now it's the Centerville Community Insurance. I'm not exactly sure the name, but you
Yeah,
know
we
what I
share
mean.
we share the spon we I share
Yeah,
the sponsorship with businesses that
yeah, yeah. What have you learned though about community? And I mean, you and I are friends because of that initial connection on the Facebook page, and then meeting you at an Optimist meeting. So, talk to me about that process, about building it.
well, it's really so you were the one that told me that my Facebook page was down.
Yeah,
I actually got hacked, and hackers just destroyed it.
love that.
And it's funny because so many times people reach out to me, and I make myself available, and that's very intentional. People reach out to me when something is going on that either needs to be on the community page or something that is on the community page that may not represent our community in its best light.
Mm.
So that's what I appreciate. I appreciate the interaction. I always give business owners every Monday get a chance to give themselves a plug. I love promoting people that are active on it each week. We just send out a little message about people that have been active. Really try to keep it chocked full. Really try to make it a central place for school announcements, government announcements, things taking place. And I've gotten so much positive feedback from it. I don't know that without the feedback, without the people that reach out to me individually and give ideas, it's really not Greg's page anymore at Centerville. So I like that.
When you started the page, did you think that it was going to become like the one-stop shop of, we call this content curation in the content world. You're curating content for the sake of the greater good. When did you realize that you might be onto something that could like really make a difference in our community?
Well, so you and I are the same in the fact that we both are very relational, and you get as many calls as I do as, "Hey, Tony, who do you know that does this?" And so that's all I wanted to create. I wanted to when you're an insurance salesman, sometimes people see you and they turn and run because they think all you're going to do is say, "Hey, that's Ned on Groundhog Day."
Uh-huh.
That always always selling, and I never wanted to be that guy. I wanted people coming to me for anything but, and I hope that when they develop a relationship with me, that ultimately they'd want to do business. So
Mm.
God gave me just relational genes, so I know a lot of people, and I just thought I'm going to start putting all these people together so that I can connect the James Kinders, so that I can connect the Jeremiah Bennett or the Michonne Rigmaiden or uh, uh, Tim Halleck with his business. I wanted a place to put that where people knew where to find it. Because if you don't have that, if you're not part of a community page, you're oftentimes posting, "Hey, who do I know that may know this?" And so just trying to put it all together. It's neat how it came together. Never could have envisioned it, but it's really been fun.
Oh, one of the other interesting things that you do is you're fanatical about taking care of your clients. And again, I think this goes back to this idea about being a lifestyle business because your clients really are your family are your clients, and vice versa. You do some special events over the years, like yeah, recently saw that you sponsored some events for a golf outing. You've got some
A lot of stuff with
activities.
schools. A lot of stuff
Yeah,
with schools. And we got a lot of, I mean, competition cheer has, I don't even have a cheerleader, but I've got several clients that have cheerleaders, and boy, are they, well, you got a cheerleader. So, I mean,
you're in it.
and
I'm in it.
man, they're passionate. So they come to me, and I love that they come to me.
Sure.
I've got it's such a cool way.
How do you decide the right yeses and the right nos?
Uh, Boy, one of the filters is I look and see if they're a client of mine, truly.
Sure, of course.
Uh, does that how much direct impact? I might have stole this from you. I think you told me this one time. Uh, One of the decisions that you make is how much of what you're asking me to do is going to flow down to the end user, something like that. And
Yep.
I might have paraphrased it wrong,
Sure.
but so a lot of I think I stole that from you. Trying to pay attention to that right there, but just trying to support people that are doing the right thing. I mean, that's kind of it. And there's definitely some no's, and I hate that, but you know, there's uh, there's definitely plenty of yeses.
Tell us about what you like to do around the 4th of July.
Man, oh man, oh man. This thing kind of got born about, this is it 3 4 years ago, 4 years ago. I think 4 years ago we probably just had you guys and a handful of people over, and I said, "Hey, do you guys want to set off some fireworks?" And we bought quite a few fireworks, and it just really turned out cool. And then we did it the first year. I got grief for how much money I spent from my bride. And but it's funny. The next year, she said, "Hey, we're going to do that fireworks thing again." And, and I said, "Yeah, that's all I needed to hear." So it got a little bit bigger. And then last year, we actually wanted to do a video promotion of it. And Jason Hills and his storyline business came in and videoed it. And of course, you and your boys do an incredible job orchestrating it And it turned in, we thought, man, this is going to be something for anybody who is a friend of Greg Fay Insurance or anybody who is a customer, excuse me, of Greg Fay Insurance. Get over to 505 Yankee Trace Sunday night, July 6th. Bring a lawn chair and just be prepared to say the Pledge of Allegiance when it gets dark and watch the Miltenbergers light it up.
Well, all we do is set things on fire. You do all the hard work in setting it up, and honestly, you have a great person who helps with the design the show and all that kind of jazz. So it's a really simple process. Um, for a lot of business owners, they might say that kind of investment in something that is doesn't look like it has much return. How do you measure investment on things like that?
Boy, that's more of an appreciation thing. I'm glad you said that. That's because that definitely came through my mind. Uh, that's an appreciation thing, um, just to show the friends and so many clients are friends. I mean, so it's going to be uh, almost everybody there will be a client, even though they're a friend. But it's more just when we looked at it through the lens of appreciation, just showing it's once a year. We do it once a year,
Hmm.
and uh, so yeah, it's easy when you look at it that way, right there. It's a big celebratory thank you.
That's awesome. As you head into the year coming up, we're at the kind of the midway point of the year. The July 1st starts the second half of the year, right? And I get a lot of emails from business owners and coaches specifically who are like, "You're heading into what you do now is will cover the back part of your year." How do you make sure that your community, all of your partners, are on that you're on track to end the year strong? Like what's kind of the your mid-year reset, or do you have one?
It probably isn't much different, and there's not going to be much pizzazz in it. It is. We always want the lines of communication out there. Other insurance agents think that I am absolutely crazy that there's some 3,000 people that are customers of mine wandering around the Centerville, South Miami Valley area that have my personal cell phone.
Mm,
And just be available. I just want to be available to respond. Uh, Boy, God has always brought us when we're here, ready to serve, when we're here and available. I remember you and I at the gym one morning, and you said that your response when you woke up in the middle of the night was, "Yes, send me." You assumed that there was that voice calling you, and that's all I want to be. I just want to be available, and that's why we keep our schedule pretty flexible, and
mhm.
not just for travel, but also for we've got a team of now 8 agents in our agency
It's
that
wild.
are available, and all of their clients have their cell phone number. That's the best thing that we can do is when somebody's got a question, when we can react, when somebody posts a problem on Facebook, and I can shoot them a private message and say, "Here's my cell phone number. Text me. Let's talk about that. I
Yeah.
might be able to help you out." Uh, that's uh, that's probably the plan.
One of the things that's interesting that we don't talk about very often, and I hope this doesn't embarrass you. Um, I know because we've been good friends for so long that you are hard of hearing,
Hmm.
and that's not your fault. You didn't do anything. How do you overcome that as someone who has to deal with people all the time? And what is the role of texting and how that has changed your business?
Oh boy, that's a you're gonna get a different answer if you ask Stacy that one there. You're gonna get a different answer there. If you ask any of my kids, you're gonna get a different answer there. Yeah, I've really tried to. So it's hard because you have to adapt to how someone wants to communicate, and I am guilty of leading with that, and I've lost some deals, and I felt bad because I lost them, and but I tried to overcome that right there. I always try to reach out. Hopefully my freakishly fast response will wow and impress someone enough that they'll kind of play in the arena that I need to play as far as texting or emailing. Number one, it gives us a record so that we can be accurate. I mean, we've actually been able to go back and backdate coverage and get refunds for customers because we had text threads or email threads. So it's a good practice just for us to have record because we're not perfect. And if we make a mistake, we certainly, if it's on record, it allows us to go back to a carrier and say, hey, they did tell us this.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it's easier for me to communicate that way. Hearing aids are great. Technology is good. I had lunch with a great friend today, and we were in Marion's Pizza, and it's still a challenge, with sound going everywhere, even with the best hearing aids you can buy. It's a struggle sometimes, but uh, it's really, boy, I tell you, uh, I'm not at all upset that you brought that up. I guess I don't think of it very much. My family and friends are probably the ones that know the most, and if and I would explain it sometime if I had to. I think I've
Sure.
on a handful of times I probably had to,
Well, you don't
but
wear you don't wear them on the golf course, so because of that,
yeah, yeah,
anytime I bring somebody else to golf, you always are clear to tell them, like, which is good. I
yeah,
think it's important, right? But
it is.
I think some business owners think like, I think it's easy for a lot of us to get lulled into this idea that, hey, my body doesn't work the way everyone else's does,
Yeah.
and that could hold me back. And I think what you've done really well is you've kind of turned it into an advantage because you're so good at texting and you've gotten so good at it over the years. So
I
that was
appreciate
really
that.
my intention when I brought it up. It was like
No,
because
that's and that
it's real.
I appreciate that. I do.
Closing thoughts. What do you got for us?
Somebody just had a pre-launch for a book.
Oh,
Somebody did, and
somebody did.
listen, I know you can never say the truth. I want to know if I bought a copy before Karen did.
Yeah, no, you did.
Oh, that's the right thing to say. You probably told Karen, "I'm going to tell him this, honey," even though
Listen,
she.
I bought a copy for us. I was
Uh,
the first person. The moment it went live on the
yeah,
publisher's website, I bought a copy. So that was weeks ago that I bought a copy.
yeah. You're going to put that in the link, right? And the show link. Put that in the show notes because that's a big deal, dude. I have watched you wring your hands, bang your head, write thousands of words, and you have poured your heart and soul into that book. I can't wait to get my hands on it, and I hope every single person listening to this feels the same way. Uh,
Let Look, let's do this. Let's why don't we do an episode on it later down the road and I'll link to it then.
boom,
The book doesn't come out until September.
boom. All right,
Um, but I am thankful. The Wisdom in the Wound. If you want to learn more sooner than later, you can go to wisdominthewoundbook.com and it's all up
love
there
it,
for the world to see.
love it,
So
love you,
hey,
brother.
as always, Greg, I appreciate what you do for our community. I appreciate you. What are three businesses in the Miami Valley that you would recommend
I'm ready for
talking
this,
to?
dude. I got my list here, and I'm doubling down on this. So I asked everybody on Facebook today if anybody had a contact because someone referred Turning Point Health and Wellness. So I tagged that business. I'm hoping to hear that. Tuscany restaurant. She's on vacation until I think the second week of July, and I think I'll be able to get a contact for that one right there. And Flavors Eatery, I reached out to. So I'm going to work on them right there because those are folks that people have, and we've already had a couple on. I'm personally excited to double back and do one not only just about your book but about your business because there's some you've been instrumental in Greg Fay Insurance is nowhere near where Greg Fay Insurance is without Follow the Lead and Tony
Oh,
Miltenberger
you're kind.
being
You're kind.
available anytime, all the time for text messages, for rants, for raves, for crying on his shoulder or celebrating stuff. So,
Well, I'm thankful for our relationship and I'm excited to be on this journey with you, brother. It's good
yes,
stuff,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. Man, I love you to death, man.
As always, the highest compliment you can give us, share this episode with a friend, maybe somebody who you know is a business owner. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that little bell on the YouTube channel so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, thank you to the business owner, and we'll see you guys real soon.